Hey, let's try something different today. A little Weird Take Wednesday.
You are Locked On Lions, your daily Detroit Lions podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's happening, everybody? Matt Derry with you. It is another episode of Locked On Lions right here on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Today is 9/11, Wednesday, September 11th, and a Thursday, September 12th. Thinking of those that certainly lost family members and great friends on this terrible, terrible day many, many years ago. We're thinking about all those folks today, but talking Detroit Lions football, certainly as we get ready for the Tampa Bay Bucks invasion of Ford Field on Sunday at 1 o'clock. Already getting some Lions fans bitching that it's the Kevin Kugler, Daryl Johnston team. It's like Fox's number 4 team is coming in for the playoff rematch. But regardless, that's the situation. Lions and Bucks. James Yarko, the host of Locked On Bucks. Yes, the same James Yarko who last year said, oh, the Bucks are doing the pewter out. There aren't going to be any Lions fans in the stadium. Remember that poor James? Lions like invaded Raymond James last year. But regardless, James is going to join us tomorrow on the program. Thanks for making us your first listen and checking us out wherever you get your podcast. Shout out to our everydayers who are out there. Today, I was at an event in Troy, and I met one of our everydayers, Sam Cannonier. What's up, Sam? Thanks for coming up and saying hello today. Also, Gannon Druin has his first 8th grade football game. We know G Money is a everydayer. Shout out to him as well here on Locked On Lions. Follow us on Twitter at Derry Speaks, at Locked On Lions, Matt Derry Facebook fan page. And thank you to those of you that subscribe and watch us for free on our Locked On Lions YouTube channel. The program today is brought to you by FanDuel. Now through September 22nd, all FanDuel customers can bet $5 and get a 3-week free trial of NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Visit FanDuel.com to get started. Hope everybody is doing well. I'm going to try something different today. We're going to do a call of the day. We got that. I want to talk about the injury report. Some guys missing practice today. We will get into that. Dan Campbell didn't exactly give a rousing endorsement of James Houston today. We will get into that, but I want to start with 2 things that you would have thought I never would have started the show with. I'm calling it Weird Take Wednesday. It's a couple of takes that I have that you didn't think I was going to bring up to start the show, but I'm going to do it. Take number 1. The more I watch the highlights from Sunday night's win over the Rams, the more I check out certain things, the more I talk to people that were at the game. Matthew Stafford played a really damn good game on Sunday night. Did he not? Like, he's down every offensive lineman. Everybody's hurt, right? His center was supposed to be Jonah Jackson. He started the game at center, moved to left guard because Steve Avila got hurt. His left tackle, Alaric Jackson, was suspended. Then Joe Noteboom gets hurt. The right tackle was brand new. Then he gets hurt. Like, it was 3rd, 4th. There were some 4th stringers out there. A.J. Arcuri from Michigan State is out there playing left tackle. The backup center is playing, and Jonah's back at left guard. And yet, Puka Nacua got hurt. Yet, Matthew Stafford nearly pulled that one off against the Lions. And look, we've seen great games from number 9 in the past. We've seen some stat Padford games when he throws for 400, yet the team gets blown out. Whatever it is, the more I was just kind of rewatching and talking to people, that dude balled out Sunday night and did all he could for his team to win. And the good news was that the Lions got the ball in overtime and went down the field and scored a touchdown, so that Kelly's man did not get a chance to touch the rock, because Stafford made some pretty damn good throws. He's out there. Aiden Hutchinson is just blowing people away. You have Davenport with the 6 pressures. You got Levi Onwuzurike, I think, had 5. Like, the Lions D line played pretty well. And yet there was Stafford with his team up 3 in the 4th quarter. Yes, the Rams were forced to punt on their last possession and never got the ball back. Or they got the ball back at the end of the game, but it was pretty much, the game was over. They were going overtime. The regulation was over. He played really well. Why am I bringing this up today? I don't know. But the more I kind of go back and scroll through some highlights, the more I talk to people, the former Lion did all he could and absolutely balled out. That is my first weird take to start the show. Second one, and I know Twitter is nasty, and I get it that it's not the same as it used to be, and I don't partake in it much other than posting my podcast. And obviously during game days, I want to interact with you, the fans, both on Twitter and the Facebook page, or X or whatever we call it. But the amount of shrapnel, the amount of internet poison, the amount of negativity surrounding Tom Brady's first game as Fox's number one NFL analyst, as he called the Browns-Cowboys game Sunday with Kevin Burkhardt, is ridiculous. Did you all really think that for the first game, never, ever putting a headset on, only doing practice games, did you honestly think Tom Brady was going to be great and unbelievable the first time out? I'm seeing people like, Brady's a bust, bad move. And yes, Greg Olsen was a heck of an analyst and got bumped to the number 2 team with Joe Davis only because the greatest player to ever play the game, the GOAT as far as quarterbacks, Tom Brady, was available and wanted to work and isn't married anymore and has time on his hands and wanted to be an analyst. And Fox went, oh, we're going to get Tom Brady? Sweet. We're not putting him in the number 2 team, the number 3 team, putting him with Chris Myers. No. We're putting him at the top. And Andrew Marchand wrote about it in The Athletic about, well, Brady better get better because he's doing the Super Bowl. That's in February. It's like we want to elevate these people to the very top. And Tom Brady is at the very top when you're talking Mount Rushmore of, and that's the worst sports radio bit ever, Mount Rushmore. But you know what I mean? Brady's at the top. You go NFL, Brady. Tom freaking Brady. And around here, he's beloved by Michigan fans. Even though when he was at Michigan, y'all hated him. But regardless, y'all wanted Drew Henson, and you know that. But regardless, the guy won like 17 Super Bowls. He was the best to ever play the game. And now people love taking shots at him because he was a little bit nervous, uneasy, didn't know when to talk on his first broadcast. I think that's totally unfair. Give him a few weeks, people, before we're just destroying him. Remember, all of you, it wasn't me, loved Tony Romo his first year. Oh, Tony Romo's the greatest analyst ever. Tony Romo predicts every play. Tony Romo. He's awesome. Best I've ever heard. Now, he's unlistenable. And CBS is stuck with his $18 million a year contract. There's rumors he and Jim Nantz don't get along. He's gotten worse. But when he was the first year, everybody went, oh, he's the next John Madden. He's so unbelievable. And now people hate on him. Give Tom Brady some time before we judge him and say they never should have hired him. And Greg Olsen's better. Greg Olsen is better right now. Greg Olsen might be better all year. But Fox isn't stupid. They want eyeballs on these games. They want ratings. They want sponsors. They want money. Tom Brady brings people to the party. There were some folks that said, Cowboys at Browns, don't really care, but I'm going to watch it because I want to hear what Tom Brady has to say. I mean, I didn't think he was great, but I'm not here to tell you that he was the worst thing ever. And oh my gosh, and Fox made a mistake. It's one game. It's 1 week. We going to judge the Minnesota Vikings because they're 1-0? Are the Patriots all of a sudden Super Bowl contenders because they won week 1 against the Bengals, who never start off strong? No, we give it all time. I just think Tom Brady deserves that. All right, those are my weird takes to start the show today. Dan Campbell, the Lions head coach, was asked today why James Houston was a healthy scratch and not in the lineup for Sunday's big win over the Rams. We're going to tell you what Dan Campbell had to say, and I'm going to tell you what I think it all means for the future of James Houston. We'll do that coming up next here on a Wednesday edition of Locked On Lions. And everybody, Locked On Lions is brought to you by our friends at eBay Motors. Passion, drive, and patience. The formula for winning championships is also what keeps your ride or die alive. eBay Motors has everything you need to maintain your vehicle and level it up to peak performance. They got superchargers, roof racks, exhaust kits, LED headlights, and more. Whether you're into speed, power, or style, eBay Motors has you covered. With over 122 million parts for your number one ride or die, you'll always find exactly what you're looking for. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every time or your money back. Because with eBay Motors, you're burning rubber, not cash. With all the parts you need at the prices you want, it is easy to make your car the MVP and bring home huge wins. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply. eBay Guaranteed Fit. Only available to U.S. customers. All right, everybody, it's Wednesday edition, back on the old Locked On Lions, right here on the Locked On Podcast Network. Thanks for making us your first listen, checking us out wherever you get your podcasts. Again, do not forget the postcast tonight after the Tigers game. Locked On Tigers on Locked On Sports Detroit on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts with Jake Riepma. Jake does the postcast for every Tiger game, Wings, Pistons, and Lions. He was on this past weekend right after the Lions game, and of course, my pod came after, but Jake was on live. So check out the work that he does at Locked On Sports Detroit. Please watch and check out Jake. He does great work. All right. So today, Dan Campbell was asked about James Houston. We'll get to the injury report in a minute. We have a call of the day as well. The edge rusher, of course, who had 8 sacks his first year and since has either been injured or sort of relegated to the bench. James Houston did not play in the opener. He was on the inactive list. What does he have to do to get on the field? Dan Campbell did not exactly give him a ringing endorsement. Here was Campbell's quote when asked about it today. Quote, well, so much of it is it could be him or it's a defensive back. What's going to bring more to you and what plays into that? Special teams is a big one. What about injuries in other areas? So maybe you need the insurance. Some of it is what kind of production is that going to bring or how many snaps is he going to get? So I can't answer that clearly, but he's another guy. I mean, he's here. He's working. We'd love to get him up if the possibility presents itself. End quote. Whew. Not exactly the president of the James Houston fan club. Now, Dan Campbell doesn't pull any punches. Is he throwing his player under the bus? No. But read between the lines. He says he can't answer the question, clearly. But he's another guy. I mean, he's here. He's working. We'd love to get him up if the possibility presents itself. If James Houston was really flashing in practice, if James Houston was doing everything this organization is asking him to do and could be a force to be reckoned with as a third down pass rusher and somebody that could spell Aiden Hutchinson, who played like 91% of the snaps the other day, just an occasional breather. Second and long, Hutch makes a play on the run in the run game at 2nd and 14, and he turns to the sidelines, says, taps his hat. I'm coming out for a play. Maybe a James Houston could get that opportunity. But Dan Campbell's basically like, yeah, he's here, he's working, we'll see. It's not exactly a ringing endorsement of, he's buried behind Davenport and Pascal and Aiden and Derek Barnes rushes the passer. And we just got so many. He didn't say that. Dan Campbell did not say that. What he basically said was, yeah, we might need an extra defensive back and can't really answer it. He's another guy that's just kind of working and, he's here. That's always good when the boss says, you're here. So, I know the guys at SIL Lions, John McAroon and them, I think they wrote a piece today about should the Lions trade James Houston. Look, you can never have enough edge rushers. You want guys that can put fear in the opposing quarterback. All right, this weekend is no exception. They're playing Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield against pressure is bad. But Baker Mayfield has had time to throw the last year, plus one game this past weekend, and he's carving people up. Baker Mayfield against pressure with a banged up Browns offensive line that one year, when guys were out, he was a bleep show. So, not exactly, like I said, a ringing endorsement for James Houston. And I think that he will likely be a healthy scratch again this week, because that didn't sound like Dan Campbell was leaning toward elevating him from the inactive list. As far as injuries go, now this could elevate James Houston. A couple guys did not practice today, and that includes the often injured Marcus Davenport, who has a groin injury. Davenport played pretty well the other day, and when healthy, can be a real force, opposite of 97. But groin injury today left him out of practice. Also, Penei Sewell had an ankle injury, did not practice today, but Sewell told Dave Burkett of the Free Press, I'm good. Kirby Joseph, no practice today with a hamstring. Really good game the other day. And Ife Melifanu remains out with a sore ankle. Jamison Williams is limited today with an ankle injury. Full practice today for DJ Reader, which is huge. We've talked about it. They've targeted this game, week 2 against Tampa Bay Bucks, for the return of DJ Reader. And let's talk about that for a second, because, and I admitted this the other day, I unfairly criticized the Lions defensive line. After going back and watching the film, seeing the PFF grades, defensive line played pretty well. Yes, they didn't get to Stafford because a lot of it was dink and dunk and quicks, but Onwuzurike had a good game. Davenport was there. Aleem McNeil, not great, but better than I thought. Aiden Hutchinson was phenomenal. And it got easy for Aiden because he was going up against a third-string left tackle. But DJ Reader, I think, can make a huge difference for this team. Not that the Rams ran all over the Lions. By the way, why didn't Blake Corum play this week? Ronnie Rivers was out there instead of Blake Corum. I thought that was interesting. Not like Blake Corum was a 6th-round pick. Dude came back to Michigan, signed a bunch of autographs on the sideline before the game, and then never got out there other than the kick returns. Thought that was weird. But it wasn't like the Rams ran all over the Lions. All right. Stafford did his thing. But DJ Reader, I just think, coming back from that quad surgery, I think the sky's the limit for this defensive line once he's out there. And I'm excited to see him make his debut this week. I think the Lions were smart to rest him and give him another week. He practiced last week. I think they were being a little bit cautious, which is good. And the Lions won. But now you put Reader there, Onwuzurike, McNeil, Davenport, if he's healthy here, Hutchinson, Pascal's going to get some reps. Kyle Pecco was elevated today to the active roster from the practice squad. Because, I didn't even mention this. You know where I'm going, and you know where I'm reaching, ladies and gentlemen. The kicker list. Oh, it's back, baby. Greg Joseph. I'm going to do this on the air. 2024. Now, he hasn't played in an active game yet, but I got to add him to the list. 2024. Jake Bates. Greg Joseph. Cut by the Packers. The former Viking is now officially on the kicker list. Come on. I just had, that felt good. That felt good. So Greg Joseph is on the practice squad. Kyle Pecco goes up to the active roster. Joseph lost he and Anders Carlson battled it out for the Packers kicker job after the Vikings let Joseph walk. Joseph got cut. Carlson got cut, and they went with that Narveson kid, the rookie. So Greg Joseph, now the backup kicker on the practice squad. Very fun. All right, we got a call of the day. This one's a little bizarre, but I liked it. We're going to play it for you coming up next. James Yarko, Locked on Bucks. Buccaneers are playing good football. Defense, very banged up. No Antoine Winfield. We got to check out and see tomorrow from James if Kalijah Cansey's going to play. Their secondary is a little bit battered. So the line, you got to figure Amon-Ra St. Brown is licking his chops for Sunday. without Antoine Winfield out there for the Bucks. But we will talk Bucks and Lions tomorrow, right here on Locked On Lions. Our call of the day, though, comes up next. And we told you earlier, Locked On Lions brought to you by FanDuel. You've heard us talk about FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. It is the best. You want to do player props, want to bet on the Thursday night game, whatever it is that you want to do. College football, MLB, Tigers playing great baseball right now. Check it all out at FanDuel. They also have something a little bit different for you. Now through September 22nd, all FanDuel customers can bet $5 and get a 3-week free trial of NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Then with a YouTube TV base plan, you'll be able to watch every regular season Sunday afternoon out-of-market game. All you need is a Google account and a current form of payment, and you can cancel anytime. And if that's not enough, be sure to check out FanDuel's Profit Boost in the app and use it for FanDuel's Double Your Winnings for all of Sunday, September 15th. That's this weekend. Pre-game moneyline bets, Profit Boost will be live starting Thursday night. View your account page now to learn more about your boost. Visit FanDuel.com. That's FanDuel.com to download America's #1 sportsbook. All right, it's time for our call of the day. If you want to be the call of the day, go to our SpeakPipe voicemail system. That is SpeakPipe, PIPE.com/Derry, DERY podcast page. SpeakPipe.com/Derry podcast page to leave a voicemail. You got to keep it clean. You got to be nice-ish. And, we might play it on the air. Today's call of the day comes from Matthew Craig. Come on, Craig. Come on, Matthew Craig. Here we go.
Hey, Matt. This is Matthew Craig calling. I'm a native of Milan, Michigan. Huge Lions fan, but I'm even a bigger fan of your podcast. I'm an everydayer, long-time listener, first-time caller. Sometimes me and my brother Miggy, we grab some 40s, turn the podcast, and see if we can finish them before the podcast is over. But that's neither here nor there. My question today is related to some famous footage of Baker Mayfield after being detained at Oklahoma. Did you think it was more impressive Baker Mayfield making it a mere 10 feet before getting caught by some pudgy, out-of-shape police officers, or Jared Goff, a.k.a. Vanilla Vic, picking up the first down with his feet last week against some world-class athletes? What was more impressive? Love to hear your thoughts. Go Lions.
All right, Matthew Craig is our call of the day. I don't know where that was going. First of all, does he really have a brother named Miggy? And are they really drinking 40s during this show? If you're tipping a 40 to our memory, thank you. When I was in college at Syracuse in the 90s, I would occasionally go down to the store if I just wanted to hang in the dorms freshman year and get an Old English or get a St. Ides and just walk around the halls, go to different rooms, hang out with friends, hang out with girls, and just have my 40, nurse that thing all night. That's neither here nor there. So I don't know why I just shared that, but hey, we're having fun tonight. Yes. The Vanilla Vic, I've heard this now a couple times. Jared Goff the other night, turning the corner. See, that was the thing. Third down, Lions needed a conversion. Goff steps up in the pocket, and you see that there's nobody open. And then all of a sudden, he was going left to right on our TV, and he pulls around and goes right. And he turned it up. He turned the corner. And it was like, wait a minute. Jared Goff with the Jets? That was awesome. I don't recall this Baker Mayfield being detained at Oklahoma video, so I have to go back and check it out. But Jared Goff with his legs was a lot of fun the other night. He rarely runs. So to kind of turn the corner on that linebacker and get the first down was awesome. The crowd went crazy. And he did not have a great game from Jared Goff standards over the last couple of years. Yet, when he had to make throws, when he had to make plays, he did, and he won. And people can complain about Jared Goff. People can call for Hendon Hooker. It's not that many. It's just a few of you. But Jared Goff wins, man. He finds ways to win. And he's now beaten Matthew Stafford twice, including the playoffs. Knocked Aaron Rodgers out of Green Bay. Jared Goff's a winner. And a 43 grade or whatever it was at PFF, you know that's coming up. You know that Ben Johnson and Jared Goff this weekend and all week prepping for the Bucs are going to get this team and this offense ready so that they are more crisp offensively. And hopefully the receivers are not slipping and sliding on that turf like they did this last Sunday against the Rams. But thank you, Matthew Craig, for leaving that SpeakPipe voicemail. Again, speakpipe.com/dairy podcast page. Please dial us up and leave a voicemail. We'll play another call of the day on Friday for sure as we get you ready for the Lions and the Bucs. James Yarko tomorrow, host of Locked On Bucs on the Thursday crossover. Thanks everybody for checking us out on this Wednesday edition of Locked On Lions. Thanks for making us your first listen, checking us out wherever you get your podcasts. I'm supposed to read something. Let me do that real fast here. And that is the following. The new Locked On NFL is here. Locked On NFL is now 2 shows every day. First, the madman Tyler Rowland kicks off your morning with a double shot of NFL espresso, and then stop by the barber shop with T-Wig, my guy, Tony Wiggins, for some real NFL talk. Add in the Locked On local experts, and you get unprecedented NFL insight, hot opinions, detailed breakdowns, all in 30 minutes. It's the new Locked On NFL, and it's twice a day. Make the madman Tyler Rowland and the barber Tony Wiggins your second listen at the new Locked On NFL on YouTube or wherever you get your podcast. Back tomorrow with Big Game, James Yarko.